So, today's class we will start with the chapter number 9, agriculture and food management sector of the future. See, now the chapters will not deal with much of economic concepts. So, just information, how is our crop production, how is our crop productivity, with respect to irrigation, what is the statistics, what are the efforts which government has taken to improve the farming, farm mechanization, fertilizer consumption. Okay, that is what we are going to do. So, agriculture it is contributing approximately 16% of our GDP. So, it is supporting almost 46.1% of the population, highest employer, highest unorganized sector. The growth between 17 to 23 is averaging 5%, but we saw in the previous class that the growth of agriculture sector is 3.8%. Here they are referring it to the average of the growth rate since 2017. So, crop production, so almost 11.6% of the world's total output, almost 300 plus million tons of grains we produce. Crop yield as well as the productivity is actually low in India. See, 11.6% of the total output is from India, but given the productivity, that is yield per hectare, or in general production also, we have a huge cultivable land, so we produce more, but that is not efficient. That is what they are highlighting. The productivity yield per hectare is poor, right? So, crop yields are considerably lower. Oil seeds growth rate is very, very low, so that results in increased import dependence. Almost 75,000 crores worth money we are spending every year for importing edible oil. So, that is the another problem. Then why the productivity is very low? Because productivity is linked with a lot of post harvest inputs, right, on farm as well as post harvest inputs. You need mechanization. When you have proper mechanization, what happens? The input usage efficiency will improve, the water consumption will be more effective. When you use machines, when you use right farming techniques, right, that is going to reduce the wastage, and machinery will help in improving the seed germination. So, I am spraying, let's say I am putting 1 kg of rice grains, usually only 25% will germinate, but when you are doing this with the help of machines, then the seed germination is going to be very high. So, with lesser amount of seeds you will be getting more returns, your input cost is going to come down, right. The amount of water precision will be better, fertilizer precision will be better. So, on farm as well as post harvest inputs like quality seeds, better irrigation facilities, efficient water management, effective extension services. Extension services means the support which we give it to the farmers, dissemination of technologies. For example, we all know about urea, right, nitrogen based fertilizer. We have diammonium phosphate, so phosphorus based fertilizers, all these are fine, but today we have something called as nano urea. We have something called as urea gold, that is urea coated with sulfur. Neem coated urea was once asked in UPSC. This survey talks about sulfur coated urea, which is called as urea gold. Nano urea is nothing but urea in liquid form, that is in nanoparticle size. So, the urea will be in nanoparticles in liquid form. Instead of a 45 kg regular urea bag, that can be replaced with a 500 ml bottle, and this liquid urea, nano urea, that will be sprayed on the leaves. That liquid urea will store in the leaf vacuole, and whenever required, whenever nutrients are required from the leaf vacuole, the fertilizer, the nutrients will be released. Efficiency will be very high. The normal fertilizers, what we will do? We will spray in general, right? There will be lot of wastages, there will be lot of evaporation, lot of air pollution, land pollution. These are chemical, mineral salts. India is a tropical country, water will get evaporated, the salt will remain in the soil. Over a period, the soil will be degraded. and these fertilizers can percolate deep into the soil, can contaminate the natural aquifers, or these fertilizers can be along with, see, rice is a water guzzling crop, you will have water logging. So when you spray these fertilizers, if the help of the water can enter into the neighboring canals through which it can go to the ponds, lakes, rivers, eutrophication. So there are a lot of consequences. So when you use right techniques, then that is going to improve the productivity, and more importantly it will reduce the input cost. Floriculture, growing flowers. So the beauty of floriculture is, even if you are having small hectares, right, you can effectively convert that area for floriculture, for growing flowers. That's 100% export orientation. It is a sunrise industry in our country. Emerging industry, we refer to as sunrise industry. So it has a high returns with subsidy support and crop loan financing. For small marginal farmers also, this is going to be a excellent benefit, right. See, according to ISRO land degradation atlas, almost 1/3 of our land is degraded, okay, which is not fit for cultivation. The remaining 2/3 is also not very good in macronutrients. There is a lot of deficit in the soil fertility. So we have to add fertilizers, right, in a comprehensive manner. We have to add the fertilizers, but in that process, what happened?
So 1/3 of land.
Yes, land.
Which land? Arable land, fertile land.
1/3 of country's land.
Like this entire country.
Entire country's land is degraded, right. I am not talking about cultivable land. I am saying of all the 300 plus million square kilometers of land of the country, in which 1/3 is degraded. That means 1/3 we cannot use it for cultivation. The remaining 2/3 only we are doing it. The remaining 2/3 is also not great in nutrients. So we have to value add, we have to add supplements, right. So we at the same time you have to use in a judicial manner, just like that we cannot use it. So as I was mentioning about urea gold, urea with sulfur, government is also promoting nano urea, nano diammonium phosphate and other organic fertilizers through a program called as Pranam. That is program for restoration, awareness generation, nourishment and amelioration of Mother Earth. Usage of drones. Do you know what is fertigation?
Yes.
That is simply mixing fertilizer with water and spray it. Fertilizers plus irrigation, fertigation. Nano area I explained, the content I have given here. It is a form of nanoparticle containing nitrogen particles of 20 to 50 nanometers in size. It will be available in liquid form. A 500 ml bottle nano urea is equivalent to a 45 kg convention urea. Developed by IFFCO, Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited. IFFCO Gujarat have developed this fertilizer, and it is indigenously developed, and IFFCO has come forward to share this technology to public sector enterprises, right. And they are also developing nano diammonium phosphate, nano zinc, nano boron. So what are the benefits of this nano urea? It will reduce the use of chemical fertilizer. You tell me what all would be the benefits. Sorry?
Corruption will be not there, like before they were using urea powder in milk and all.
Yeah, that is, urea is given very high subsidy by Indian government. The MRP itself is fixed by government of India for urea. Now this urea is being siphoned for some other purpose. So I am a farmer, I might buy the urea for my farming purpose. For that intention only government has given subsidy. But this urea plays a crucial role in various petrochemical industries. Now a lot of people, they divert this urea for industrial purposes. To avoid this, government came with neem coated urea, right. And now as she was pointing out, this nano urea, again it can be used only for farming, urea gold farming. So, all this can reduce the diversion of usage of urea for industrial purpose. Then
More compatible with future technology, like 45 kg bag drone cannot do, but that 500 bottle drone can.
yes, so it can improve the utilization of farm inputs efficiently. Then less consumption, so the input cost for the farmers will come down, so farmers will make more income. Then,
Low duration.
sorry,
The pesticides are applied.
fertilizer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It will reduce the time to grow a crop.
Okay, so that is a very general. See, don't say that it will reduce the time in the growth of the crop. Tell that that will improve the growth of the crop. Right? It will take its own time, but the development will be fruitful. Here, what we can say is the efficiency, the output efficiency in the nano area is greater, because as I said, these nano urea, when nanoparticles will store in the leaves. You will spray on the leaves. It will store in the leaf vacuole. Just like that, it will not be released. Now we need nutrients. Suddenly, if I get lot of nutrients and it is dumped inside my body, that can contaminate also. Anything in excess is also a pollution. But assume that all those nutrients are stored in my cell. Whenever my body requires, if the cell is going to release it, efficiency will be very high. That is how nano urea works.
Lesser issue of this eutrophication.
Yes, lesser pollution,
Low consumption.
lower consumption of chemicals. So all these are benefits. Anything want, if you can add, no problem.
Normally, which is thrown out in the field, it's a salt only, right?
Yes, everything is a salt.
Even nano urea is a salt.
Nano urea is in form of liquid.
I said it won't cause that increased salinity of a salt. Right?
That's what I am saying, because we are spraying it on the leaves. The leaves is going to store it. Of course, there will be leakages. But when compared to the regular urea, which we simply spray, where the wastage is going to be very high. Alright? So, when compared to that, here the soil fertility impact can also be reduced. About rainfall and irrigation, only 55% of our net sown area receive irrigation. That too, Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, they have a very high access to irrigation. That is 98% of Punjab has access to irrigation, 94% of Haryana, 84% of UP, 86% of Telangana. So, in contrast, if you take Jharkhand as an access to irrigation coverage will be below 20%. Right? So, more than 2/3 of the India's agricultural land, they face threat of drought because of the erratic monsoon pattern. The rainfall we are not able to predict properly. Right? So, this is going to have a greater impact on small and marginal farmers. Also, an increase in 2 degrees Celsius in temperature is going to affect the productivity of the agriculture. So, to improve the efficiency of usage of water, government has launched Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Did I discuss about this in any current affairs class?
Yes.
Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. So, this has 4 components. One is accelerated irrigation benefits program. Second one is Har Khet Ko Pani, water for every field. Third one is per drop more crop. Fourth one is watershed management. Accelerated irrigation benefits program means this program will speed up the ongoing irrigation programs. Har Khet Ko Pani means every field should have access to water. So, government will come up with minor medium irrigation projects. Right? They will try to find some source based solutions to ensure that the field is getting water. Per drop more crop is improving the water use efficiency, promoting drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation. Watershed management, watershed as the name says. So, it is a region where the water gets drained. Let us say for example, the mountain, a river originates, the river finally reaches the sea. The entire region where the river flows, that is watershed. For example, rainfall, so there is rainfall. Wherever the rain is falling, that entire area is watershed. So, when you are having proper storage facilities in this region, then water can be conserved. So, watershed management, water use efficiency, availability of water for every field, speeding up the ongoing irrigation projects, that is the objective of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Agriculture credit, Kisan credit card we have discussed. So, farmers will be given a normal credit card which will have a limit between 10,000 to 50,000 rupees depending upon your capacity, land holding capacity, type of the crops you are growing, based on the farm mechanization machines you are having. The limit will vary between 10,000 to 50,000. So, farmers can use that as a not debit card, it is a kind of smart card. That means you can use that money like a usual credit card, or you can go to ATM, withdraw money also, interest will not be charged much. Interest subvention scheme, so based on the Kisan credit card you can also get loans, there is programs, and government will reduce the interest. That means if the interest is 7%, government will pay 2%, you will pay 5%. On prompt repayment, government will give you back some of the interest paid also. So, prompt repayment incentive. Priority sector lending we discussed, of 40% of the priority sectors, means 40% of the loans should go for priority sectors. In that 40%, 18.5% should go for agriculture. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, which is nothing but the crop insurance program. So, under this program, the insurance coverage will be, the premium will be shared between both farmers as well as government. Right. So, if it is a kharif crop, the farmer will share 2% of the premium, rabi crop 1.5, horticultural crop 5%. The remaining will be shared by the government. This covers both pre-harvest, pre-sowing to post-harvest losses. Mechanization. So, the cost of the machine becomes the biggest barrier. So, in this backdrop, government is setting up custom hiring arrangements. There is a program called as Submission on Agricultural Mechanization. See, first I will right. So, government came with a program called as Green Revolution Krishonati Yojana. This is not a survey, I am showing it to you. This is a program, a centrally sponsored program. I mean, that includes central sector components, central sponsored components. So, it has 12 missions. Mission for integrated development of horticulture, mission for oil seeds and oil palm, food security mission, mission for sustainable agriculture, mission for agricultural extension, like mission for agricultural marketing. All these are called as sub-missions. Okay. So, basically to develop the agriculture and the allied sectors in a holistic manner, government came with these 12 missions. Survey is highlighting about SMAM, that is Submission on Agricultural Mechanization. So, in this program, Submission on Agricultural Mechanization, government is giving subsidies for purchase of various agricultural implements and machinery. Not just that, under the Submission on Agricultural Mechanization, you are private players, you can get the subsidy, set up custom hiring centers. That means you will be giving the machines for rent. You will be giving machines for rent. So, this rental availability will help the farmers, small farmers and marginal farmers to get a lot of benefit. So, significance of mechanization. So, it is said that it is going to increase the overall productivity by 17.9%. It will improve the seed germination by 14.1%. It will reduce the operation time by 1/3, 30% reduction in the labor requirement, 11% reduction in the seed rate, the seed consumption, 26.6% reduction in the weed instance, reduction in diesel consumption, reduction in fertilizer requirements. All these are benefits of mechanization. Like how government has a submission on improving the mechanization, government has a submission on improving the infrastructure. So, government launched marketing infrastructure sub scheme. Under this program, capital subsidies, investment subsidies will be given for the individuals or farmers or cooperatives, farmer producer organizations for what? For setting up post harvest management infrastructure. So, almost up to 25% of the, say for example, if it costs 1 lakh rupees to set up a storage facility, government gives 25,000. If you are in the northeastern region, government will give 33% of the investment cost as subsidy. Agri Infra Fund we discussed in current affairs class. ENAM also discussed, Electronic National Agriculture Market. Agriculture extension, I said dissemination of knowledge. We have in every district we have Krishi Kalyan Kendras, Krishi Vikas Kalyan Kendras. Yes, Krishi Vikas Kalyan Kendras. These Kendras are nothing but an vocational institute for farmers, training institute for farmers. So, every district will have these Kendras. The farmers will be coming to those training institutes once in a while, where government will train the farmers with respect to new age techniques, new developments, let us say how to use nano urea, let us say how to use direct seeding of rice methodology which we discussed in class, right. So, like that. Climate action in agriculture, we know, because change in the climatic pattern, global warming, increased rainfall, decreased rainfall, drought, everything is going to have an impact on production productivity, which is going to affect the income level of the farmers. So, government has an action plan, national action plan on climate change. Under the national action plan on climate change, in 2000, I think Vilasni ma'am or Devanath would have highlighted this. In the year 2008 only, government came with a national action plan, 9 plans. So, one is solar mission, another one is focus on energy efficiency. Under each mission, different initiatives were taken. For example, we have this star rating, right? Star rating on the electrical appliances. That is a concept came from National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. All are broader missions. Each mission will have specific initiatives. National Mission, National Water Mission, National Mission for Sustaining Himalayan Ecosystem, Mission for Green India, Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, Mission on Strategic Knowledge on Climate Change. So, survey is mentioning this, that we have a National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture under this National Action Plan on Climate Change, and government takes efforts to support the organic farming through programs like Parampragat Krishi Vikas Yojana, Mission Organic Value Chain Development for Northeastern Region. Yes. There is? Yes, yes.
Is that a part of this?
I am not sure, man. Maybe, I am not sure. Right. Allied sectors, that is animal rearing, etc., that is contributing almost 30% of the GVA share in the agriculture sector. In the agriculture sector, 30% of the share, agriculture sector means that includes agriculture and allied activities. Animal husbandry, the allied activities, that is giving 30% contribution to the agriculture GVA. Put it simply, if I am a farmer, I am earning 100 rupees, 30 rupees I am earning from allied activities, right. So, that is allied activities, predominantly it is animal rearing. So, we have to protect our animals, cattle. India has the world's largest livestock, right. So, we have Rashtriya Gokul Mission. Rashtriya Gokul Mission, that will focus on conservation of indigenous breeds, right. Similarly, we have Livestock Health and Disease Control Program, National Disease Control Program for livestock. So, we have the cattle faces disease like brucellosis, foot and mouth disease. Foot and mouth is a virus disease. Brucellosis is a bacterial disease. Government has a target of eliminating these diseases, right. Similarly, sex sorted semen production through IVF techniques. So, to improve the quality of the breed. So, government is resorting for artificial insemination, right. Then Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada we have discussed in the current affairs class. Fishery sector, bringing revolution in the fishery sector. Cooperatives. So I mentioned about primary agricultural credit societies, that is PACs, village level cooperatives, right. So village level cooperatives, government has now created a model bylaw, that means organization structure, what should be the governance procedure, how the election has to be conducted for selecting the board members, how decision has to be taken. So every organization will have their own bylaws. For example, in academy, say we have to start the class promptly. Okay, study hall will be available from this time to that time. So rules we are creating, right. So for PACs, government has come up with a model bylaw which they can adopt. That is going to improve their operations. And also government has allowed the primary agri credit societies to run retail petrol, retail diesel outlets, and also to set up micro ATMs. Micro ATMs are handheld devices, very small handheld devices that will be used as ATMs, because ATMs cannot be set up in unviable regions. Okay, so in that areas we can make use of micro ATMs. Right. Then we have this Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samriddhi Kendras, where fertilizers will be available. Food processing. So food processing, labor intensive industry, it absorbs lot of labor in the country. 12.41% of the total employment in the organized sectors is from food processing industries. So we have a great export potential, because we have variety of climatic zones, variety of soil, variety of crops, fruits, vegetables. So huge export potential. Our agri-food export reached to $46.44 billion, that is 11.7% of our total exports. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana we have discussed in current affairs class, that is focusing on food processing, mega food park, forward backward linkages. Then National Food Security Act, NFSA Act, which provides rice for 3 rupees per kg, wheat for 2 rupees per kg, coarse grains for 1 rupee per kg for almost 66% of total population, right. But post COVID, during COVID and before the recent election also, the government promised that they will continue this program at free of cost for the beneficiaries. So under the name Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, 66% of the population of the country, almost 85 crore people in the country, is now getting access to rice, wheat, coarse grain at free of cost. Every individual per month can buy 5 kg of grains at free of cost. Electronic negotiable warehouse receipt. What is that? So now I am a farmer. After harvest, I am growing rice. After harvest, I will try to sell. See, I will try to sell it immediately, because I personally am not having any big storage facilities. Okay. Or if I am going to store it, let us say I take a warehouse for rent and I store it and I wait for the good buyer. What is the consequence? Rabi season will start, I have to start growing wheat. Think I am from Punjab, Haryana, I am growing rice. Within a couple of weeks only I have to change my land for wheat. Assume that in 12 days I am not able to sell my rice. I will not get money. So I am storing it in a warehouse, I am renting a warehouse. That is fine. For that also I have to pay money. I am not able to sell it on time. So I will not have any money to do my next cropping. So I will end up borrowing. So here government came with a concept called as negotiable warehousing receipt. Now this warehouse will give a receipt, will give an invoice. So let me assume 1 lakh rupees worth grains are stored. So the receipt will mention 1 lakh rupees worth grains are stored. Now this invoice can be given to the bank. Against this invoice, let's say 80%, 85%, bank will give money. Are you able to understand? So with that money I will do my cropping for next. I will wait for a good buyer. Once a buyer comes, I will sell and I will pay the money back to the bank with a small interest. Are you able to understand? Purida. Farmer, I harvest, I am not able to sell immediately. So the harvested fruit grains I am storing it in a warehouse. I get a receipt. Now that receipt that says that okay, in this godown, Guna is having 1 ton of rice, basmati rice, assume. That 1 ton of basmati rice has a value, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, whatever. Now that receipt I will take it to a bank. I will pledge that invoice and bank will give me money. With that money, I will be doing the cropping for next. So now I can wait for a good buyer. So a buyer will come maybe after 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, I will sell, I will recover 1 lakh rupees, then I will pay 85,000 to the bank. Are you able to understand? But that it will come with a small interest. That's what I am saying. Okay. So this is about negotiable warehouse receipt. That's all about agriculture. The next is social sector. So survey says government social service expenditure has increased considerably, both central government as well as state government. Of the total expenditure, social sector expenditure is 26.2%, that is education, money spent on health. Okay, that has increased to 26.2% of the overall expenditure. Household consumption expenditure. Household consumption expenditure, that 23-24 data says that the monthly consumption expenditure of someone who is in urban area, someone who is in rural area, the gap was huge, the gap is closing now. So rural area average monthly consumption expenditure is 4,122, urban 6,996. There are certain items which government gives to the people in urban and rural at free of cost. Yes or no? At free of cost. Say for example, ration shop I go, I buy 5 kg of rice, it is free of cost now. Yes or no? 5 kg of rice, assume that I am going to buy it outside. Or from the ration shop only, if I am going to pay 3 rupees, now 15 rupees I have to pay for rice. It is free of cost. So whatever government gives, you put a cost to it. And then if you look at the consumption expenditure, for rural it will be 4247, for urban it will be 70798. These initiatives, social sector initiatives in general, that is actually reducing the inequality and increases the consumption. Inequality reduces, consumption increases. As consumption increases, demand will increase. As demand increases, production will increase. As production increases, GDP will increase, government's tax revenue will increase, country's employment will improve. Right? Survey says the Gini coefficient has been improved. Did I discuss about Gini coefficient? No. So to understand Gini coefficient, we have to understand what is Lorentz curve. First we will understand. Look here in the x-axis I am taking population in terms of percentage, 10%, 20%, 100%. In the y-axis I am taking the income or wealth generated by the people in the country, 10% of wealth, 20% of wealth, 100%. Clear? If 10% of people is contributing 10% of income, if 20% is contributing 20% income, if 30% is contributing 30% income, are you able to understand? If 10 is contributing 10%, like that, if in proportion 10% contributes 10% income, 20% contributes 20% income, 90% contributes 90% incomes, that is the perfect equality. So when you draw this line, this is called as line of equality. This is called as line of equality. But in reality, you will not see such line of equality in any country, right? That too, if you come to a country like India, the top 1% will control 20-30% of the overall country's resource. Are you able to understand? So, see, less than 2 crore people are paying income tax in a country with 140 crore population. That too, in the 2 crores, roughly close to 1 crore people, they will file zero returns. That means they will say their earning is less. So now coming to our discussion, this is line of equality, but reality will be different. Reality will be like this. Or I will draw like this. That means it is the 10% population, they are consuming or they are having more income, more wealth. Are you able to understand this graph? So, this curve is called as Lorentz curve, which gives the relationship between the population and their corresponding income earned. Now, what this curve says, 10% of the population, they are able to have an income of just 2% of the total income, 20%, let's say 3%, 30%, let's say 5%, 40%, let's say 10%, 50%, let's say 20%. So, ultimately now 90% of the population assume they are able to mobilize or generate only 30% of country's income. The last 10% is mobilizing or having 70% of nation's income. So, this line of equality in reality will not be like a line, it will be like a curve. So, we are referring it as Lorentz curve. Now, using this Lorentz curve, Gini coefficient is calculated. So, what is Gini coefficient? Area above the Lorentz curve divided by area below line of equality. Area above Lorentz curve divided by area below line of equality. That is, in this example, let me assume the area above, this entire triangle, we have this entire triangle, right? Assume the area of this triangle is 2, assume. Now, area above the Lorentz curve means this region. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Let me assume the area is exactly half. Area of triangle is 2. Now, when I look at the shaded region, it is half of the area of the triangle. Let us assume 1. So, area above the Lorentz curve is 1 and area below the line of equality, that means this entire triangle, that is the area below line of equality, that is going to be 2. So, here it is 0.5. So, in this example, Gini coefficient is 0.5. Shall I erase this? Now, assume the Lorentz curve, it was like this, right? But now the Lorentz curve is like this. That means almost 90% of the population, they are earning only 5% of income. The remaining 10% they are earning maximum. Inequality is very high. Now imagine like this. Imagine, I will use red now. The Lorentz curve is actually matching this x-axis like this. That means what? Let us say 99%, I am coming to 99%. They are earning 0. The last 1%, they are earning the entire income. Assume that you all are unemployed, your earning is 0. I am the one who is only earning. In this country, how it would be? 99% is going to be 0. The 1% is going to earn all the 100% revenue. So, the curve will be like this. So, now if you calculate Gini coefficient, area above Lorentz curve is how much? 2 entire triangle. Area below line of equality is 2 entire triangle, that is going to be 1. So, this is case 2. In case 1, Gini coefficient was 0.5. In case 2, Gini coefficient is 1. Are you clear with this? Sure. Now, let us assume the Gini coefficient was like this earlier, right? Before. Now, let us assume the Gini coefficient is like this now, or the Gini coefficient is like this. What does it mean? Relatively there is equality.
Yes.
May not be perfect, but relatively there is equality. But imagine if this Lorentz curve is matching with this line of equality. The Lorentz curve is no more a curve, it is a straight line, it is matching with line of equality. That means there is good equality. Now, what is the answer?
0.
Area above the Lorentz curve, that is 0. There is no area above Lorentz curve. Area below line of equality is 2. So, answer is 0. So, now we have 3 cases. Gini coefficient is 0, Gini coefficient is 0.5, Gini coefficient is 1. So, learning is Gini coefficient will swing between 0 to 1, right? When the Gini coefficient is 0, what does it mean? The equality is perfect, perfect equality. When it is 1, highest in form of inequality, highest inequality. 0 is lowest, 1 is highest. I mean in terms of inequality, or 0 means perfect equality, 1 means very high inequality. Are you clear? So, the Gini coefficient, it was 2.8 for earlier, then it came, 0.28 for earlier, 0.266, now 0.237. It is reducing in our country, it is coming closer to 0. Are you able to understand? School education, national education policy, we have discussed in the class, the current affairs class, has school education, higher education component. So, school education, that aims to achieve 100% gross enrollment ratio by 2030, right. So as of now, in primary education, we are having near universal enrollment. Almost 93% of the children in the country are enrolling in the primary schools. 77.4 in secondary, 56.2 in higher secondary. So this has to be improved to 100%, right. Government schools enroll 50% of the students in the country and employs 51% of the teachers in the country. School dropouts is steadily declining. So for primary, the dropout has been reduced to 1.9%, upper primary 5.2, secondary levels is 14.1. So 85% of the brain development will happen during the initial age of 6 years. That too in the first 0 to 3 years is very, very crucial for babies. So keeping all this in mind, government has come up with two programs. One is called as Adarshila, another one is called as Navachetana. So both are activity based learning. Adarshila, for first 36 months, government has created 140 age specific activities. Each week, what kind of training to be given to the children, government has created. Similarly, 130 activities for kids between 3 to 6 years. Nipun Bharat mission, which aims to focus on foundation literacy as a part of national education policy, we have discussed. That is also mentioned. What is foundation literacy? Read, write, solve basic arithmetics, that is foundation literacy, achieved by grade 3, okay, achieved by 2027. Originally the target was 25, but after COVID government postponed it to 27. Skill education, so Tamil Nadu introduced a program in the year 2009 that is called as Thalir Thiran Thittam, right, simply understand TTT, Thalir Thiran Thittam, that is at school level, adults, okay, will be given not just vocational training. Generally people think about vocational training, but Tamil Nadu, you know what they did? They were not focusing on vocational training, they are focusing on soft skills, improving the communication, language comprehensions, logical reasoning, critical thinking. So government, instead of focusing on vocational training, Tamil Nadu government is focusing on soft skills. That is what is most required in this new age, this global era. So that, taking clue from that TTTT program, now government, central government is implementing throughout the country, and they have named it as Tim Tim Ter. I was searching for a Hindi meaning for this Tim Tim Ter. I am not able to understand. You have any idea? What is it?
It's actually Tim Tim Tare.
Tare. Okay, Tim Tim Tare.
Shining stars.
Okay. Again, this Thalir Thiran Thittam, which was not mentioned in the survey, I know about the program, I am mentioning it here. But survey has clearly said it's an initiative of Tamil Nadu, which is being taken. Unlike vocational training, it is focusing on soft skills. So 16 core life skills will be taught under this program. Next comes higher education. So almost 4.33 crore students enrolled in 21-22. National education policy aims to achieve 50% gross enrollment ratio by 2035. Health, total health expenditure in the country, government, private, everything is coming close to 9 lakh crores. Here THE means total health expenditure, okay. The total health expenditure per capita is also increasing. Since financial year 19, year after year, government is increasing the expenditure on health. So since there is an increase in the government's expenditure, the public out-of-pocket expenditure is coming down because government spends a lot. So the countries, the health expenditure between financial year 15 to financial year 22, that has increased to 48%. So that has an impact on the out-of-pocket expenditure. That declined to 39.4%. The survey talks about Ayushman Bharat, we have discussed. Ayushman Bharat has two components. One is It focuses on Ayushman Arogya Mandir, which was called as Health and Wellness Center originally. The name got changed to Ayushman Arogya Mandir. Second one is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So Ayushman Arogya Mandir is nothing but the Health and Wellness Center, which is nothing but the existing primary healthcare centers in the country that will be strengthened, because the existing primary healthcare centers were focusing primarily on maternal health and neonatal health. Children under the age of 5 will be taken care, pregnant mothers will be taken care, basic like common fever, common cold, all those will be taken care. Diagnostics cannot be done, nothing else can be done. No facilities for treating non-communicable diseases. But now under the health and wellness, this Ayushman Bharat program, these centers will be strengthened. So now primary healthcare centers will be renamed as Ayushman Arogya Mandir. These areas, these facilities will have treatments, diagnostic facility, equipments for diagnosing non-communicable diseases. There will be ortho care, oral care, eye care, even yoga classes will be conducted. So like this, under this program it is being strengthened. What is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana? Health insurance. So every family under this program, beneficiary family, the bottom 40% of the total population, that will come around 10 crore households, that will be given 5 lakh rupees of health insurance. And recently government said for people above 70 years of age, irrespective of their economic background, for them government, for every elderly above 70, right, 5 lakh rupees of insurance will be provided. That is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. In a family, if you have 5, let us say one person is 70 plus, previously the entire family was getting 5 lakh rupees worth insurance, but now along with this, this person alone will be getting another 5 lakh rupees worth exclusive insurance. And previously there is a family, that family was not a beneficiary of PMJAY, but now this 70 plus person alone will be getting 5 lakh rupees of insurance coverage, not the family, right. So for such beneficiaries, government has created a new card called as Vai Vandana card. Then Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission, which will address the critical infrastructural gaps in the health sector in the country. Universal immunization program, which will be discussed in the current affairs class. Since 1978, government is implementing immunization program, and now we have universal immunization program 5.2, under which children below 5 years of age will be given free access to various vaccinations. UWIN is a portal which will give you an idea about all the vaccines available for the beneficiaries. E-Sanjeevani is telemedicine solution. You can fix a telephonic appointment with the doctors and interact. Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, we have discussed in the current affairs class. That is, it's a portal, yes, everything, patient, hospital, doctor, diagnostic centers, medical shops, everything will be connected in a single portal, right. And for taking care of mental health care, we have National Mental Health Policy, Mental Health Care Act, and also Telemanas. So it is a number. So if you have any psychological requirement, you can make a call, you can fix an appointment, interact. At 2 levels, Telemanas will operate, at state level, at district level. Yes.
There is one more thing, right? Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Kendra, generic
BJP,
medicine.
PM BJP. Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana.
So that is a part of Ayushman Bharat.
No. That program was actually introduced by Congress government. This program by the current NDA government, right. Right. See, we have discussed chapter 9. chapter 11, chapter 12. Okay. Where is chapter 10? Chapter 10 is environment. Vilasni ma'am will discuss. You will be getting a video. Just nothing economics there. Right? About our environmental development, climate change related activities. That will be discussed. So it will be better if ma'am discusses. You will be getting video as a part of 75. Very, very small chapter. Okay. Only the initial chapters will be economics. All else are statistics. Initiatives, what is the current situation. Chapter 12, employment and skill development. The dependency ratio has declined in India. Dependency ratio means people below 15, people above 64. They are called as dependency population. It is declining. So we have 15 to 64 is a working age population. That is very high. That is why we are talking about demographic dividends. Dependency population is coming down. So worker population is high. So now what is the role of the government is, government should ensure everyone is getting employment. Right. So periodic labor force survey report we discussed in the chapter 1 only, that is unemployment rate is declining. LFPR, labor force participation rate, and worker population ratio is increasing. Right. Self-employed workers are increasing. Survey highlights in a positive light. We will also assume in that way. Self-employment is increasing. Survey says maybe people are looking for flexible work arrangements. Regular salaried jobs decreased because many people, survey says many people are becoming entrepreneurs. Right. Self-employed. There is a decline in the casual laborers. So the bottommost population, they want to engage in the formal sectors. We saw about the EPFO increased subscriptions. Sorry? Not just women, in general the total subscriptions got doubled. Agriculture sector, they are the highest contributor for the employment. The share of industries and service sector in the employment is declining. Feminization of agriculture is increasing. Female workforce in the agriculture is increasing. Female labor force participation is also increasing in general. Feminization of agriculture is also increasing. But women as laborers, they are increasing. Right? But as owners, for example MSMEs, only 22% of MSMEs are owned by women entrepreneurs. Large factories still they absorb 80% of the workforce. Formal sector I was mentioning, the EPFO subscriptions got doubled. Right. So now they are almost 131 lakh EPFO subscribers. We have e-Shram portal. What is that? That will recognize the people working in unorganized sector. ID card will be given. Right. So government came with labor code bill. So 29 different labor laws were there, but government in the year 2019 and 20, they brought all this 29 laws into 4 categories. So code on wages, which was talking about floor wage, minimum wage. Floor wage means the central government will fix a kind of wages for different sectors. State government, whatever comes in their domain, they will fix. Right? That is floor wage. Minimum wages, that should be above the floor wage, and below the minimum wage, no sector should be giving salaries. So floor wage is the bottommost, minimum will be above. When people give employment, that value should not be less than the minimum wage. Digital economy we are expecting. So like this code on social security, that is even unorganized workers, now they can come under PF contributions. Government wants to extend that, yes. Yes. code on social security is not just for gig workers, platform workers, people working in unorganized sectors. Industrial relations, that deals with strike conditions, when you can go for strike, etc. Similarly, occupational safety. Okay, what are all the facilities the employer should be maintaining, all those is given in this occupational safety. So, all this have simplified the 29 labor laws. Digital economy. So, we are expecting that by 2025 our digital economy will surpass $1 trillion. According to Niti Aayog, the gig workforce is projected to reach 23.5 crores. So, they will comprise 6.7% of the non-agricultural workforce. Alright, so why digital economy is becoming more favorite, work from home, flexibility, women can participate. So yes, this is about economic survey. There is one more chapter regarding artificial intelligence, that is just single page, nothing to explain. Document you will receive, you can go through. Environment, Vilasni ma'am will discuss.